We've all been there. You decided to try to be a little healthier and you bought a lot of fruit at the grocery store. 2 weeks later and they're still sitting in the fridge or on the counter and they're withering. What are you to do? Besides just eat them earlier. Throwing them away is basically throwing away your money you spent on them. Well, if some idiot in the 1st century can figure out what to do to make their berries last longer, then so can we. That's right, we're making jam. Jam was first created when Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny got together to play some basketball. Since then, people have been spreading it over bread, toast, and bread that's been warmed up and gone brown and crispy. But people have been overpaying for the privilege of a PB&J sans the PB for years. And yeah, you can get schmuckers, but that's for suckers. I'm looking for the real deal fancy stuff that comes in a tiny jar the size of a newborn kitten's head. That's the good stuff, and that's what we're going to be making today. Get your strawberries, get your sugar, and let's get cooking. Alright, when I said let's get cooking, I meant let's get cleaning. We need to sanitize our jars before we do anything, and most sources say you need a canning rack to do that. And they're right. But they also say you need to buy one, and they're wrong about that. I'll show you how to make one out of tinfoil instead. Now, if I had lawyers, they'd be telling me to tell you to not actually do this, and that you should just buy a canning rack. I'm telling you, don't do this, it's stupid, but I'm showing you what I do. First, take a lot of tinfoil and make a circle out of it that fits snugly in your pot. Now use more tinfoil to make supports across your circle. Bada bing bada boom, it's a shitty canning rack, on to the cooking! Wait, we still have to actually clean the cans. Put the rack at the bottom of your biggest pot and weigh it down with the cans that you intend to clean. Fill those suckers up with water and then fill the rest of the pot with water up to about an inch above the cans. Bring that to a boil and let it go for about 10 minutes. Use tongs and a ladle to carefully drain and take the cans out and let them air dry. Now, on to the cooking. This recipe for strawberry jam comes from America's Test Kitchen. Start by putting a small plate in the freezer. Trust me, that'll make sense in a couple seconds. You're gonna need 3 pounds of strawberries. Each pound of strawberries costed me $1.99, which totals up to $5.97. I know this one sounds expensive, but it's worth it. Cut the tops off of each strawberry and then quarter the little scamps before setting them aside. You have a lot of strawberries, but just take your time and get through it. Then you need to get your hands on a Granny Smith apple, which you should skin with a small knife and then chop into even smaller matchsticks. Dump your strawberries into a Dutch oven or other heavy bottom pot and start mashing them up with a potato masher. Imagine you're a cover band for the Smashing Pumpkins called Mashing Berries and you'll be all set. Now add your apple and mix it in along with 3 cups of sugar. The name is Frugal Foods, not Health Conscious Foods. Put that on high heat and add 2 tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. Once that's all frothing and boiling, stir that bad boy like the life of your stove depends on it, because it does. Don't let that stuff boil over, you'll be cleaning it off for weeks. Once the frothing subsides, let the mixture cook for about 25 minutes. Once you're there, take the plate out of the freezer and put a spoonful of jam on there. Throw it back in the freezer for just 2 minutes and then run your finger through it. If it looks like jam and it feels like jam, then congrats, you made jam. If not, cook for another 5 minutes and try again. Now fill up the jar so there's a 1/4 inch between the jam and the lid. Seal it snug but not too tight and dip it back into the water on the rack, which will need a non-jammed jar filled with water to weigh it down. And let that boil for 10 minutes before taking them out again. Wait to hear a loud pop to indicate they've sealed. If you miss the sound, you can check to see if there's an indentation on the lid. Here, let me show. Oh. Here, look, an indentation. Anyways, you made jam, and it's sealed for long time storage. Before you open those suckers, they'll last for 2 whole years in the fridge, and once opened will last for 2 months. In the immortal words of the Quad City DJs, welcome to the jam. Now this recipe got us about 4 cups of jam, with only a cost of $8.70, meaning that it cost us $4.35 per jar. Comparing that to similar jams that I found online, it would have cost us $6.49, meaning that we saved a whole $2.14, which is a great deal. If you want more money-saving recipes, then why don't you sit down and stay a while? Hit the subscribe button, maybe the like button, leave a comment mayhaps? Whatever you do, stay fresh.